The Western Conference has always been, seems like here lately, the most competitive conference. And I don't think next season is going to be any different.
I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. It was very difficult to come up with Western Conference power rankings in July of 2022 at this stage based on their roster. There are some teams in the West that I'm just like, ooh, somebody's going to be upset in the West. Some popular team in the West, some big market team in the West is going to be very upset next season. I really feel that. And it's going to be a smaller market team to just make it all happen. They got some great teams with their rosters construction right now in the West. So coming up with five was extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. And I say that about everything, right? But for this one, I mean it.
Yes, yes, it was hard. So my number five, after much deliberation, the Denver Nuggets.
You
The
got
Denver Nuggets with two-time MVP Jokic.
I'm with it.
I mean, coming off of a season where he had to be the end all be all, he's gonna get his help back.
Yes.
MPJ and Jamal Murray should be back in the saddle, and they had nerve to add KCP and Bruce Brown, 3 and D players.
Ooh.
Oh, I like that pickup. And I am most excited about Bones Highland. What I seen from Bones Highland blew me away last season.
I said, where he come from?
Yeah.
How deep did y'all have him on your bench where you were able to say, come on, Bones, you're up, you next? And when he got on that court, I said,
Yes.
Bones, Coach Malone, you ready? Yeah, the
Yeah.
Nuggets is gonna be nice. Okay, so no, my number five is not the Nuggets, none other than the Clippers. Yes, I'm gonna have the Clippers on my list, but I have them at number five. Yes, because of the pickup of John Wall, the return of Kawhi Leonard, and then Paul George. I can't wait to see what that pairing looks like. You still have Reggie Jackson, who I believe should be the starting point guard at the top of the season. I mean, he has earned it, but as long as he's still on the roster, I'm good with that. They just re-signed Nicholas Batum. They signed Zubac again. Like, that's fine. I just think that there is one missing piece to the Clippers, and that's at that center position. However, overall, I think that the Clippers will be a team to beat in the Western Conference. So I have them at number five on my power ranking.
I'm sitting here blown away that you have the Clippers at number five.
Why? Why would you be blown on my list?
I'm just blown
Why?
away. I just thought you would have them ranked higher. I'm just gonna say, I just thought
Oh,
you'd have them up
okay.
there. But
I'm
number
not
five is
un-
not bad.
I'm not unrealistic about the teams that I like. I don't have blinders on, so I believe that when I watch basketball, I try to be fair in my assessment of these teams, whether I like them or not. And right now I have them at number five. So on my
Okay.
on my list.
Okay, okay. All right. So number four on my list is the Memphis Grizzlies. Number four, the Memphis Grizzlies. The only reason why they lost to the Golden State Warriors, the only reason why is because of injuries and suspensions. I'm telling you, when Ja Morant went out with his injury and Dylan Brooks was ejected from one game and suspended for the next for injuring Gary Payton II, I said, oh, the Warriors won by default. I know y'all. Hey, hey. And this is how I feel on
Hey,
my list.
your
The
list.
Grizzlies are number four for me.
Wow.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. So I was torn with my number four spot. Torn between two teams. It was not the Grizzlies, but I was torn between two spots. One team has been at the top of the Western Conference for a couple of seasons, and they have disappointed me each season. So that's why I'm struggling. But this other team, the potential of them and who they have returning to their roster for the next season, I'm struggling with. So I'm going to go with the Nuggets for number four. I have them at number four for the same reasons you mentioned. And although we know Joker needs help, he can hold it down. He's trustworthy. He is reliable. And with Michael Porter Jr. coming back, Jamal Murray coming back, I think they're going to have a nice roster for the 23 season. So I'm going to have the Nuggets at number four on my list.
Okay.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Not a bad slot for them. At number three, I have the Phoenix Suns. Can I just
mm-hmm.
say, I am so happy DeAndre Ayton finally got his money. His 4 year, $133 million deal after feeling like the Suns did not want him. I'm glad that Robert Sarver decided to open up his checkbook and pay DeAndre Ayton. I hope that it feels like home for him and not like it was a last resort because the free agency pool was getting a little slim, you know. I think DeAndre Ayton and the Phoenix Suns underachieved last season. I think they have a lot to prove. They had a long summer. This is probably the longest summer that they've had in some time. And just Chris Paul's leadership, I think, will take them to the next level next season. So I had the Phoenix Suns at number 3.
So my number 3 is actually the Memphis Grizzlies. Yes, I have the Memphis Grizzlies for some of the same reasons you mentioned. I do believe that they're at the cusp of greatness. They achieved a level of greatness last season, but now that they have that experience under their belt, I believe now they can move to the next level. And when we're talking about a team that is explosive, that is athletic, that is super fun to watch, that have the dog in them, not just one player, but like multiple players on the roster,
Yeah,
they
everybody.
have that led by John Morant, Dylan Brooks, like Desmond Bain, Jaren Jackson Jr. Like it's just so many people on that roster that really contributes greatly to their success. Even so, when Ja does not play, they can still get out wins. I just think that is so powerful for how their roster comes together, how they support one another, and how they can get wins off of some of these great teams. So I have the Memphis Grizzlies at number 3 on my list.
Ooh, nice. Ooh, can't be mad at those Grizzlies. At number 2, I have the Dallas Mavericks. Oh, the Dallas Mavericks are going to be must-see TV next season.
I
They made it
agree.
to the Western Conference Finals last season, and they played without Tim Hardaway Jr. Can you imagine the offensive and defensive punch they would have had if Tim Hardaway was available? Mm-hmm. Got their big bodies now. They filled the gap with JaVale McGee and Christian Wood. So I'm happy with them. And the only thing missing potentially was just exactly that. The space in the middle was just wide open. And now they filled the gap. So they're going to be good next
They're
season.
going to be good. I have them at number 2 as well.
Okay.
Dallas Mavericks are going to be the team to watch next season, and I cannot wait. My number 1, Golden State Warriors. You got to beat them. They're the champions. They're the team to beat, and that's just how it goes. So on my power ranking, I have the Golden State Warriors at number 1. And for me, the obvious reasons because they've already won it. But not only that, they're running it back with the core, a little aged. I do agree. But I still think they have something else to prove. And I'm going to stick with the Warriors as number 1 on my power rankings list. Who you got?
I have the Los Angeles Clippers as number 1. The LA Clippers will be the big brothers in Los Angeles next season. They are deep at every position except center, but I do believe that they will fill that gap.
I agree.
I'm telling you, if healthy. See, that's the thing. If healthy, they will be the team to be reckoned with. I think the LA Clippers might be the team to beat next season with Ty Lue leadership. I'm telling you, they're looking to take over Los Angeles. I really like the John Wall pickup. And then last season, Covington and Powell, that solidified it for me. I'm
Covington and
telling
Powell.
you, the Clippers are number 1 for me, and you look shocked.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe you have them at number 1. Wow.
I call it spade
Wow.
a spade. The Clippers look good for next season.
They look good. I agree. I agree. I agree. If they can feel that, give some support at the center position for Zubac, then I'll be willing to move them up. But until
Mhm.
that, because that's huge. If you look at the other people that other teams they're gonna be playing up against, that is a major hole for me when we're talking about the Clippers. But I can believe you have them at number 1. I
Yeah, but
cannot
then
believe
they
it.
get rid of Hardenstein,
They
you
did.
know,
Yeah.
and that's a problem. But I think as the season goes on, they might sign Boogie, they might sign Dwight Howard, just to kind of,
Yeah. Yeah. I can
give
see it. I
Zubac
can see
a
that pickup for sure. A pickup
mhm.
like that for sure. Oh, what?
I
I am
know,
speechless.
I know.
Speechless. But I love the support. No, that's good.
Yeah,
You didn't have the Warriors on your list. You did not have the Lakers on your list.
check it out. We always have a bonus. So my 6th team are the
Uh-huh.
Golden State Warriors.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
I know they won the championship, but I'm telling you, they're not going to win it next year.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
They're
That's
not
fair.
going to win it next year. I mean, they are the champs, and I respect that. But the big three has gotten older. They
Yeah.
do have a lot of pride though, and they benefited from the Mavs defeating the Suns. Because if the matchup was Golden State versus the Suns in the Western Conference Finals, I'm not exactly sure that Golden State would have won that series.
I struggle with a 16 for the West. I'm not going to even lie. I struggle. I can't come up with one. Not for the West. You know, I didn't put the Suns on my list at all. When I talk about a team that disappointed me, it was the Suns. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. I
I
don't have them
don't
on
know
my
what to
list.
say.
I know. We'll see. But hey, you know what? My list as of July, trust me, as the season progresses for 2023, this will be a different list. I already know it will be. But yeah, I can't come up with a 16 because I'm just saying, if I think about the Timberwolves, if I think about the Pelicans, if I think about the Blazers, I'm like, what in the world? What are we gonna do in the West? I don't know. I can't figure it out. I just can't wait to see them play.